Hi, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I have games to predict. I have 22 games on here, all rivalry weekend. I'm not going to talk about the teams much, but I'm just going to tell you what my prediction. Now, my first one is Mississippi State versus Ole Miss. Predicting Ole Miss beats Mississippi State 23-21. Next one's Tulane versus Cincinnati. Predicting Cincinnati beats Tulane 30-28. My next one's Baylor versus Texas. Texas at home. They're kind of hard to beat. Almost beat Alabama at home. Predicting them beat Baylor 31-23. My next one's Oklahoma versus Texas Tech. This is also another rivalry. Back when Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes played for both the teams, and it was like 60-50. It was a pretty good one. And then predicting Oklahoma beats Texas Tech 31-30. And my next one is Nebraska versus Iowa. They call this one the Thanksgiving rivalry. I don't know why, but that's what I hear people call it. Predicting Nebraska beats Iowa 27-20. And my next one is UCLA versus California, an in-state rivalry. UCLA almost upsetted USC last week, but they just fell a bit short. They were up 14-0 to start out the game. I don't know what happened there. Predicting that they beat California 41-38. My next one's another in-state rivalry: Florida versus Florida State, FSU. Florida State at home, predicting to win 38-28. My next one is the biggest rivalry in college football history, and right now the biggest one, the Michigan Wolverines versus Ohio State Buckeyes. Ohio State at home this year. Last year they were at Michigan. It was snowing, it was cold, and they lost, and Michigan won it. This year I'm predicting it turns around, and I'm predicting Ohio State wins it by a touchdown, being 32-25. And my next one is South Carolina Clemson, another in-state rivalry. Clemson, I'm predicting beats South Carolina. South Carolina upset Tennessee last week, so I don't know. Clemson upsets South Carolina 34-16. My next one's another in-state rivalry: Georgia Tech versus Georgia. Georgia Tech, an ACC team. Georgia, an SEC team. Predicting Georgia beats Georgia Tech and 35-10. And if they win this game, then they'll be 17-0 at home in the past 17 games. They're already 16-0. My next one is the Iron Bowl: Auburn and Alabama. Auburn versus Alabama. And Auburn, I'm predicting Alabama beats Auburn 27-21. And my next one is another in-state rivalry: Oregon versus Oregon State. I'm predicting Oregon beats Oregon State 31-28. My next one's Utah versus Colorado. It's just an SEC rivalry. It ain't a big one. Predicting Utah beats Colorado 41-12. And my next one of the biggest rivalries in Big 12 right now: Iowa State versus TCU. Predicting TCU goes undefeated the entire season, 12-0. If they win this game, they're 12-0 and 34-10. And my next one, I'm predicting TCU beats Iowa State 34-10. And my next one, and it's kind of a rivalry: Michigan State at Penn State. I'm predicting Penn State beats Michigan State 35-17. One time Michigan State and Penn State played, it was 4-6 was the final score. It was 135 years ago. LSU, one of the big rivalries, because one time this LSU versus Texas A&M. My next one, it's a big rivalry because a couple years ago they played and it was 76-74. But in this one, I'm predicting that LSU beats Texas A&M 46-38. My next one is UCF versus South Florida, another in-state rivalry. I'm predicting UCF beats South Florida 48-36. And another in-state rivalry: Tennessee and Vanderbilt. I have this one as a shootout. Don't know why, but I do. Predicting Tennessee beats Vanderbilt 70-56. And my next one is Notre Dame versus USC. This has been kind of a rivalry, but not by much. But predicting USC. This one's another blow, or another shootout that I picked. I'm predicting USC beats Notre Dame 63-60. And my next one's NC State versus North Carolina, an in-state rivalry. This one's another shootout that I predicted. I'm predicting North Carolina beats NC State 56-48. My next one is another in-state rivalry, Washington State versus Washington. Washington's at home. I'm predicting Washington beats Washington State 34-31. And my last one's Boise State versus San Diego State. Predicting Boise State beats San Diego State 24-21. And now I have to do my. Now this one's the playoff ranking. Since this is the last week of the season, I'm just gonna go do my playoff ranking. I usually do the AP top 25, but this is playoff rankings. I'm gonna say the record and everything. Now, number 1, Georgia Bulldogs at 11-0. Number 2, Ohio State Buckeyes at 11-0. Number 3, Michigan Wolverines at 11-0. And Ohio State and Michigan both play this week. Number 2 and number 3 team. This is the first time that two college football teams have been playing at undefeated records at this late in the season with a non-bowl game. And number 4, TCU Horned Frogs 11-0. Number 5, Southern California University at 10-1. Number 6, Louisiana State at Tigers at 9-2. Number 7, Clemson Tigers at 10-1. Number 8, Alabama Crimson Tide at 9-2. Number 9, Tennessee Volunteers at 9-2. Number 10, Oregon Ducks at 9-2. Number 11, Penn State Nittany Lions 9-2. Number 12, Washington Huskies 9-2. Number 13, Notre Dame Fighting Irish 8-2. Number 14, Utah Utes at 8-3. Number 15, Kansas State Wildcats at at 8-3. Number 16, Florida State Seminoles at 8-3. Number 17, UCLA Bruins at 8-3. Number 18, North Carolina Tar Heels 9-2. Number 19, Tulane Green Wave at 9-2. Number 20, Mississippi Rebels at 8-3. Number 21, Cincinnati Bearcats at 9-2. Number 22, Oregon State Beavers at 8-3. Number 23, Coastal Carolina Chanticleers at 9-1. And number 24, Texas Longhorns at 7-4. And number 25 is University of Central Florida Knights at 8-3. That's gonna be it for today's video. Hope you like and subscribe, and see you next time. Next time will be my bowl. Will be the conference championships, and then I'll do my bowl games after that. So see you next time. Bye, guys.